Hey, y'all. Hey, we are
Hey.
back and welcome to another episode of Real Women, Real Talk. We are real women and we create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. I am Trenace Richardson, Nikki, if you know me. And I've been in my Nikki bag lately. And I'm the founder of Real Women, and I'm joined by my sister who is.
I am the amazing Shavon Carter, and I am a facilitator for Real Women Rock.
Yes, she is. Y'all, we are all up in through these 50s episodes. And so we are so glad that you have joined us. If you tuned in for the first time, you are in for a ride. If you've been here before, you already know. We will share more about real women and who we are as we get into the conversation. But we want to jump right in because you came for a conversation. So we're going to go ahead and give you one.
Mhm.
We always start with real talk because we just want to know real talk. How you doing? So,
Yeah.
Shavon, real talk. How are you today?
I am feeling really good today. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna lie. I am in good spirits, and I was telling you offline that I had listened to a previous episode and took my own advice, child. Yes, I did.
Listen.
So these episodes really be helping me, like when I go back and listen to them, previous podcast episodes. So I created a digital vision board for myself because I just wanted to see at this stage and season of my life, where do I desire to go? What do I desire to see happen? And it was so um encouraging and empowering for me to just see visually what I wanted for myself. And I had like a little picture of me when I was younger. Like it was like seeing my inner child, playful and bright. So I found a picture that displayed that, another picture that looked like peace, and a slew of other things. But I really tapped into just want to lean into joy. So I got a little picture from Inside Out too when we had joy on there. So it just made me feel really good, and it helped to shift my perspective from how I was thinking over the weekend. So yeah, I am feeling amazing today.
That is so good. I have questions. I have
Yes.
questions.
Okay.
Okay. So did you use a certain platform to create the vision board?
Yeah, I
Um,
use Canva. Yep, I
okay,
use
okay.
Canva. They had a vision board template on Canva, and I just pulled pictures and put them on that board.
Wonderful. Okay, Canva, we are open to sponsorship. So
Exactly.
feel free. We just shouted you out.
Yes.
But no, I love Canva. So thank you
Mhm.
for that. Cause I'm like, I probably, not probably, I know I would benefit from doing that.
Mhm.
And because I've thought about it, and it's just so funny that you just said this because I'm about to talk about a topic that is such an example of this because because the last time, you usually have those thoughts at the beginning of a year.
Mhm.
And so the last time I thought about it was at some point at the beginning of a year, and I
Yeah.
started collecting magazines and everything. Child, I
Yeah.
was like, I gotta. And my daughter, she's even asked me about it. She was like, "You got any
Yeah.
old magazines?" Because when you say vision board, that's the first thing that
Mhm.
comes to mind. I've got to
Yeah.
physically do it. So you
Mhm.
just said digital, and I was like, "Huh, yes,
Yeah. Yep. I
that would
use
be
Google
very
Images. Yep. I put in the categories, like when I put in joy, and I just scrolled to see what really spoke to me. And I was like, "Ooh, I want that picture." So yeah, that's what
I like that. Ooh, we gonna do a
Mhm.
digital vision board party. That's
Yes.
that would be so much fun.
Yes.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Mhm.
So for me, what am I? I am in my bag. Like right now,
Mm. Yes.
I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself, feeling myself, feeling myself.
Hey.
Hey. I
I love it.
I feel really good. I
Mhm.
feel good physically. I
Mhm.
feel good emotionally. Um, and I'm moving forward in some of my to-dos.
Mhm.
But I think I said this a couple of episodes ago, but not in a pace that's overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
So it's feeling really good to be in a stride right now.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's so funny because life is seasonal for all of
Hmm.
us, right?
Absolutely. Hmm.
But I think if I really work hard to look backward, I think fall
Hmm.
does this for me.
Okay.
And I think it's because I come off of the summer, which is my
Mhm.
favorite season,
Okay.
and it energizes me for this season.
Got
And,
it. Yep.
you know,
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
I do some real reflection just
Hmm.
over the course of seasons,
Hmm.
it's probably very cyclical for me.
Got
So,
it.
yeah.
That makes
So,
sense.
yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling really good.
Yeah.
And I want to say, because we talk about this in Real Women a lot, we told y'all we're going to infuse real women in this
Hmm.
conversation, but
Hmm.
we talk in our sister circles a lot about giving ourselves permission to not be okay. Like,
Absolutely.
if we are not okay, to say we are not okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to lean into joy and to be
Yes.
like, I feel good
Absolutely.
and I
Yeah.
am good in this season. It's almost
Yeah.
like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Hmm.
And so I'm just learning to lean in to
Yeah.
where I am and what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that because that was one of the reasons why I put joy on that vision board because I've been through a lot of pain and I'm
Mm,
sure there are some more things that will happen down the road, but I want to lean into joy. I really do. Like I really want to just give myself space and permission to be like, I am feeling happy and joyful today,
yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. It feels good to lean into it. Um,
Mhm.
And we talked about in some episodes, if it's not where you are right now, be okay with
Mhm.
that. And
Absolutely.
and then figure out what helps you pivot, you know?
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
okay with, leaning into what's gonna help me move forward. So,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, sisters. So we want to know how you all are doing. Just join in the conversation with us by jumping in even after you listen to the episode and let us know how you're doing. Real talk. Reach out to us at speakpipe.com/real women real talk or email us at info@realwomenrock.org. We want to know how you are doing, what your thoughts are, what you might want us to talk about up here, what questions you have.
Mhm.
We really do want to hear from you. And we would like to hear from you about this as well, because I got one more thing I want to ask you about Real Talk.
Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
so it's gonna get us into this episode, and I want you to think about maybe
Mhm.
name something you are still very old school or traditional about. Maybe you don't have anything,
Mhm.
but just think maybe music genre or specific songs or
Mhm.
a personal practice. I put
Mhm.
specific songs in there because I know my sister. And so
Period.
personal practice or
Yeah.
something others do, just anything that you would probably be considered a little old school and auntie about at this point in your life.
When you mention music, I am definitely old school. Rest in peace, Frankie Beverly,
Mhm,
because he recently just passed away. And I text my mom and I was like, girl, thank you
mm,
for introducing me to old school music
mhm,
because Frankie Beverly, Earth, Wind, and Fire, like those groups, she put me on to a lot of those. Anita Baker, Luther Vandross, like all of those old school R&B groups
mhm,
I love. So I'm an old school girl when it comes to that and gospel music. Now I love me some good
mhm.
old school gospel music.
Yes, you
We
do.
lived experience together, which is amazing. I love that. We had a good time.
Yes.
Um, so love just going in, it just makes me think about my old church that I grew up in and just my mom once again just introducing me to a lot of the gospel music back then. When it comes to like men and relationships, I want a man to work. So when it comes to tradition, like I don't understand a man not working, not having no job, not having his own car, not having his own stuff, you
But
know.
hold on,
Uh-huh.
why that gotta be old school though? You just want a man to work like that's
Because we are venturing into a new space where the
you
younger
right.
generation,
Hmm.
what they like is just different. And so
You
I
right.
don't, for me, I need him to have his own job and his own car and his own place to live. And some people, may not be into that and just very open and accommodating. And I have been that person and I
Mhm.
have evolved
Yeah,
and that does not work for me anymore. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Understandable, understandable. I have so many thoughts about what you just said before I answer the question. First
Okay.
of all, um, I'm thinking about, I'm gonna just let y'all into a little bit. So we
Mhm.
have an amazing team of over
Mhm.
a dozen women, and we had our team retreat,
Yeah.
both to plan for the intensive, but also to just be together. And
Yeah.
we were together. You hear me? We
Yeah.
had a blast. We
Yes.
had the most amount of fun we could possibly have just being
Mhm.
together. I mean,
Yeah.
karaoke and eating good and laughing
Mhm.
good. And then we messed around and started playing some old school gospel late at night. Let me tell you something.
Oh
Woo!
my
Have
God.
mercy,
It
have
was
mercy. Then
great.
we found out because a couple of people would trickle away, a couple of people
Yes.
would trickle. We found out the old school heads stayed up and just worshiped together. It was wonderful.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
wonderful.
Late
Yeah.
in the midnight hour, like literally, we were up till midnight listening to
Yes.
gospel music. Loved it.
It
Yes.
was so good, so good.
Mhm.
And so I knew that. I've known that, but I knew that,
Mhm.
and I do think for me though, I might go just a tiny bit step back further when it come to old school gospel to you.
Okay. Okay.
Just maybe, like I literally want a hardwood floor, and I want to be doing this the whole time. Like I
Uh,
just wanna, just
I'm
wanna.
gonna lay down my
My
burden.
bird. Yes, sir. Down by. I want to be there. You hear me?
Yes. Love it.
So yeah, I love, love, love old school and old
Mhm.
school music, gospel, but also old traditional church.
Okay.
And I'm
Mhm.
so I'm so torn and picky about this because there's
Yeah.
pieces of it I love and pieces of
Mhm.
it I don't.
Yes.
But when it comes to just being able to hear a mother or a deacon pray like an
Yeah.
old person pray, child, we
Wait. That reminded me of when they have the wooden table in the front of the church with the number of people that's on the
yes, child.
yes, on the board. You can see how many members came today.
Yes.
Yes.
How many came to Sunday school? How
Yes.
many? Yes.
Uh-huh.
How much
Yes.
money they made that
Yes.
day? All of
Uh-huh.
that.
Yep.
Yes. Let me
Mhm.
tell you. So, testimony time when
Yes.
people would get up and just, I like to thank the Lord for being here today. Like to thank him for all he is to me. Like to thank him that my bed was not my cooling board. Like to, like to thank him that my tongue wasn't cleaved to the roof of my mouth.
Oh my
Like to
God.
thank the
I
saints
never
for the
heard
saints and the
that.
friends.
Oh my
Girl,
goodness. Member State
old
friends.
school church.
Yes.
Yeah, now
That
I
is old
I can
school.
do it just, and I don't know if I need it
Mhm.
every Sunday, but when I'm
Right.
there, I find
Right.
myself there, and
Yeah.
God forbid, I'm not speaking it to be so now, but it's
Uh-huh.
usually at a funeral that I end up
Yeah.
at, you
Right.
know.
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
usually at a funeral, but when I get there and they start with the washboard and the timbre, oh girl, hey, it does something to me. It does something to me.
It just makes me think about the deacon, like Father God, and we just want to thank you, Father God and Heavenly Father. They say Father God every other word when they are praying. Bless their little hearts. That prayer gonna get up there though. God gonna know exactly who they talking to. Yes.
That he is Father God, Father God, Father God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, that's so good to
Oh
me.
my gosh,
So,
I
and
love
there's
it.
even so like call and response and
Uh-huh.
line singing where
Mhm.
uh,
Yes.
girl, let me tell you,
Yes.
I
When
can
I
do
go to my
all of that.
grandmother
All of
grew
that.
up in
Okay. I
Georgia.
digress. This is only real talk. So
Yes.
anyway,
This is great.
So that's all of the stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then you also delved into relationships.
Uh-huh.
And I was wondering, you mentioned, man don't work, he don't eat, just
Just
like work, right?
work, yes.
Um, but what about the little nuancy type stuff in a dating situation? Like, are you
Mhm.
traditional about liking doors open for you or a man to pay for a meal? Like, what is that for you?
Yeah, I'm probably more new age when it comes to that. So I had to be taught by somebody that I dated to have the doors open for me,
Okay.
which was interesting. So now, yes, I do expect the man to open the door and appreciate when that happens. But when it comes to him paying for everything, I am a 50-50 type of girl. So I'm okay with him paying sometimes, me paying sometimes. So I don't need him to pay all of my bills and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm fine with going 50-50. But I do appreciate when the man pays. But I'm fine with offering to pay sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think some of those things are, well, like the opening doors or pulling out the chair. Those are cute courtesies, but I don't have
Hmm.
to have them at
Yeah.
all.
Hmm.
And then, I've been married for 25 years. We split everything. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
so
Exactly.
you got
Yeah.
it or I got it. Which one of us
Right.
got it?
Right. It
Not
don't
even-
matter.
yeah. So,
Hmm.
okay, so that was just real talk, but that was
Yeah.
fun.
That was fun.
So I really wanted that to usher us into this deep dive conversation because we're asking you all as well. So you got to talk with us during this. Talk to yourself, talk to the person you're sitting beside,
Yes.
talk back to us. Just like,
Yes.
the person walking by might think you crazy. Just talk to us. But we want to know, and I want to ask you, sister, do you think overall you are
Mhm.
more old school or new school? Do you think you are more, if you had to consider yourself old school
Mhm.
or new school, which one would you call yourself? And of course, we can break the rules and say a combination if you got to
Yeah.
go there. But I want to give you some context while you're thinking about it.
Okay.
This is our deep dive. So
Yeah.
if you joined our sister circle now, y'all, so this is a sneak peek
Mhm.
into us starting a conversation. We just had our opener, and now we're getting into the conversation. And so, for context, I've been thinking about the places in my life that I am very much
Mhm.
new school in thought. And it's funny because there are some negative connotations to that, especially from the churchy background that I'm from. To
Yeah.
say new school or new age or new thought, those types of things are associated with something that is not godly and,
Mhm.
according to some people.
Mhm.
I'm not afraid of that language,
Yeah.
especially because I believe that according to, we as Western first world Black people,
Come on. Mhm.
because let's just, you
That
can,
part.
we Black, but we first
Mhm.
world Black because
Yeah.
people have it
Mhm.
worse than we do.
Yeah.
That we have demonized some things that were historically ours,
Yep.
and we sort of picked up historically at slavery and since,
Yeah.
right, since
Mhm.
slavery, and forget about our ancestors and heritage
Yeah.
and where we really come from, because all of
Mhm.
us are immigrants here from somewhere.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I'm just over thinking that something that is fruitful for me and
Mhm.
working for me and in my life, I'm seeing benefit from it. Somebody telling me it's demonic or not working
Mhm.
or or not of God. So I'm over that, just over
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
Um, and as a result, when it comes to my faith and how my faith has evolved,
Mhm.
I think I don't have as many traditional thoughts as I grew up in.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not of the women keep silent in the church. I'm definitely not of, there's a whole lot that I'm not of right now. And so
Mhm.
I could go down the list, but also tattoos. I
Yeah.
proudly have them, I proudly talk about them. They will probably be moving from my back to other more visible spaces
Ah,
soon,
period.
so that I can see them on a regular.
That part.
Um, and then yoga, I got, that was probably my most public flogging that
Right.
I received a lot of feedback when I started to publicize my yoga journey. Um,
Opening yourself up to all these spirits.
it was so funny. I would send y'all the text or the private messages and be like, "Girl, can you believe this?" So,
Lord.
I am future forward when it
Mhm.
comes to a lot of things. My role in the world as a woman, my rights as a woman, as a Black person, like just really future forward.
Mhm.
But I have to admit, we just went on a whole old school rant, right?
We did,
So
yeah.
I've been having moments when I know more and more that I'm longing for some old school in my life, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And it is probably because I'm getting older. That's just I
Probably so.
I did not think that this transition would
Yeah.
show and prove itself in this way, but it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I am now the person who does not watch the VMAs because I have no clue
No
who is
idea
up
who
there.
those
Like,
babies. Mm-mm.
who is that baby? Who is that
Mm-mm.
baby
Mm-mm.
rapping, singing right now? I don't know who that is. Like, I
Yeah.
will sound like that person.
Right.
So I am much more old school than I thought. And when it comes to, I've already said my church experiences, it's just certain pieces I don't want. I don't want the
Mhm.
fakery. I don't want the bullying. I don't want you to beat me up to get me to praise. Just,
Mhm.
do your praise and then
Right.
I'll do mine. Right. So
Exactly. Yeah.
all of that. And then the music, everything you just said, but not only just gospel music. There's a new genre called Southern Soul. Well, it's
Mm.
not probably not new. It's Southern Soul, right?
Okay. Mhm.
There are newer Southern Soul artists that I love,
Yeah.
love. King George is my dude. King,
Okay.
King George is my dude. Um, we gotta keep on rolling. Oh, this thing called life gonna keep on going.
Yeah.
Okay, Southern Soul way back. You
Mhm.
and I can get down with Clarence Carter. I
Yes.
be broken. Hey, that's what
That's
I've
what
been
I
doing.
was doing.
Okay, so I can do this all day. So we're gonna
Yes.
keep. My
Yeah.
point about that is that I really believe that as new school as I am becoming,
Mhm.
at my core, that will probably never go away, and I
Mhm.
will become more of it. I am old school. I really
Yeah.
am, and I am unapologetically old school, and not going to back down on the fact that I'm pulling in some new school into my old school life. That's where I am.
Mhm. Got it.
How would you describe you? Are you more old school, new school? What does that look like for you?
I think for me, I'm more new school with a
Mhm.
little twinge of old school when I think about it. I am probably the most new school when I think about my life. I am single, no
Mhm.
kids,
Mhm.
not in a relationship,
Mhm.
enjoys my own space. So that
Mhm.
is very new school when you think about the traditional ways of being married, having a family. So
Mhm.
definitely new school when it comes to that. I love the new school artists when it comes to rap.
Mhm.
I love
Bless
me some
your
ratchet
heart.
music. I have a ratchet. Gimme Ratchet is the name of my playlist with all of the new people, Sexy Red, Glorilla,
Mhm.
all those people. So I love the new school ratchet music.
Mhm.
What else? Social media. I have definitely become a consumer
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
social media and all the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I tried Snapchat. That might be a little bit too new school for me. So I might be traditional, just like Facebook and Instagram. So that might be too far for me.
Mhm.
And just the podcast that I listen to, more new school podcasts than old school. So when it comes to old school, I think like we were talking about in the previous episode, I am becoming my grandmother. So looking out the window, complaining about why the neighbors not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. It's a
Well,
shame.
that's a shame why they ain't following the instructions we're supposed to follow. So
Mhm.
that's definitely old school. And just when I think about like going out and stuff like that, I'm not a club girl, so I don't want to be with the new school people out in the club. I'd rather a good old social, good old spades party like my grandmother used to have. So
Mhm.
I think traditionally I'm old school when it comes to that, just hanging out with my friends and just having good old girlfriend time.
Mhm.
What else? So yeah, so I'm more new school than old school, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I love how you couched it. I
Yeah.
agree. First of all,
Hmm.
I have an auntie old school moment that I need you to help
Okay.
me with.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, because you mentioned it.
Yes.
And it's just a little small digression, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
So I thought Snapchat was out already. Snapchat
Mhm.
been out, right? It's doing like a little revival or something.
People just be on it. I think more people have been on it for a while, and I think people just talk about it more. Some people have gravitated more to that than Instagram, so they've
Okay.
kind of moved because I think Instagram does a lot of suppressing your content and stuff like that. So people just choose to go to other platforms. So, but yeah, it's been out
Okay.
for a while. Hmm.
Okay. I mean, I remember Snapchat. It's been out for a long
Hmm.
while, but
Yeah.
people have started talking about it more now. And I'm like,
Hmm.
so what they talking
Yeah.
about? What
Uh-huh.
they
I
just
think they're
curious.
probably getting tired of Instagram and Facebook because now Instagram and Facebook show you people that you're not friends with. It's like, why are these people on my timeline? I don't want to be friends with
Yeah.
them. So
And
it's
they together now. There used to be this very separate old people on Facebook,
right.
new people on Instagram, and now they all
Exactly.
connected. So yeah,
It's
I
so
can see
much.
that. I
All
can see
these
it.
ads that you have to scroll through. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, thank you for helping me. I had an auntie
Yes.
moment. I appreciate it. So
Totally.
I agree with your delineation
Mhm.
of you, and I do because I when I think about okay, so if I want to shake my rump, let me go to the Carter house. Let me go to
Right.
Club Carter, and
Yes.
we can have a
Yes.
good house party. And
Uh-huh.
it's an old school because it's house party, but we gonna
Yeah.
play some ratchet music
For
there and
sure.
gonna shake our thing. So I
Yeah.
love that. I love that about
Uh-huh.
you. Okay, so my now we've established that if we had to choose, right?
Yeah.
I'm more old school, you're more new school.
Mhm.
I'm still wondering, what do you wish would change in society when you
Hmm.
think about the world or just our communities, wherever your head goes?
Mhm.
And it might be that you think something should become more traditional or more progressive.
Yeah.
So if you could change something right now that in your opinion is, what would
Mhm.
you change? And would it be going forward or would it be taking a step backward?
I would love for us to take a little step backward when it comes to the conversations about men and women when we're talking about relationships.
Wow.
I am so sick of these new schools of thought that's like a man got to make six figures. He got to be able to bring this and that to me.
Wow.
And then a woman got to bring this to the table and all of this. Where is just the genuine connection? Let me get to know you genuinely, not for
Yeah.
what you can do for me,
Yeah.
and valuing a person based on where they live, how much money they make, and where they can take you, getting flued out, taking you on trips, and if he can't pay for my trip and all of this stuff. So seeing people as commodities and people that are transactional. I need to get something from you in order to get this. Like, I really wish we could take a step back and just get to know people on a human level.
Yeah.
So that is definitely one area that I would want us to go back to a little bit. Not to the 50s where it's just like women in the house barefoot and pregnant, but
Right.
somewhere, I don't know what decade it would be, but somewhere where we were just like, maybe in the 70s when we was a Soul Train line and you had the
Mhm.
afros and you just, had the bell bottom pants on, and I don't know.
Yeah. Free love.
Free
Um,
love.
yeah. Yeah,
So
that's so good. That's so
yeah,
good. I hadn't thought of that one in that way because when you said
yeah.
that, I was going a whole lot of different places, but that was
Okay.
so well said. So
Yeah.
well said.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do something different with mine,
Okay.
and like you, it's not like I want all of what I'm about to say
Yeah.
because that would be a whole thing. But
Yeah.
I honestly would love for us to take a couple of steps back in two areas.
Okay.
Um, Technology
Mm.
and the way we grow or manufacture our food.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for
So
sure.
those two big areas, and I'll just say for me, I feel like I know that there have been so many benefits to tech when it comes to technology, not
Mhm.
just in social media spaces or in business spaces, but medically. Like
Mhm.
there have been a lot of advances that have helped research wise
Mhm.
and with ailments and helping people with prosthetics. And I know
Mhm.
that there are tons of different ways in
Yeah.
which it has been beneficial.
Mhm.
I think relationally
Mhm.
and intellectually, it has handicapped us.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That we don't have enough conversations like
Mhm.
live and in person.
Mhm.
That and I'm not criticizing other people. I am in the category of even though I'm more old school than new school,
Mhm.
because texting to me is talking.
Yeah.
so,
I know
so
that's right. Yes.
so
Yes.
and it helps but at the same time there's this person to person that's
Mhm.
missing, I think,
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways. And keep in mind when we didn't have all of these extras related to technology, people weren't being treated as people.
Mhm.
But even today all people aren't being treated as people. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm just talking in the area of technology. I think it would help us.
Yeah.
But also, we don't eat real food like we used to.
Mhm.
Like even
No.
the food that we think is real food is GMO'd, and it's
Mhm.
finding ways to manufacture it fake instead of making it come from the ground and grow
Yeah.
the animal. It's
Mhm.
really scary how much we're doing to our food, what we're calling food,
Yeah.
and taking into our bodies as
Mhm.
our fuel.
Yeah. Mhm.
So those are two big areas that I would like to see something happening. And I would even take it a step further, and this wouldn't be for everybody
Mhm.
possibly, but I want to experience the oldest of schools where I don't have that I live on some level off grid,
Okay. Yeah.
so that I don't have to be as connected, and I can
Yeah.
grow my own food, and I can live
Mhm.
off the land, and just be in the house and outside, and live and grow and earn off of the land so that I
Yeah.
don't have to be in corporate hustle and bustle. I
Yeah.
would love to experience that
Yeah.
before I expire. So that's my
Mhm.
change that I would like
Yeah.
to see.
I when you talked about the technology piece, I think about how I grew up, when we used to go outside and play. We didn't
Mhm.
have a whole lot of electronics to keep us in the house. So I used to go
Good.
outside and play little cheer games with my friends. We would make up songs. So there was so much more creativity
Yeah.
and less distractions when it comes to that kind of stuff because we could connect with our friends. We ride bikes around the neighborhood. So it was just so much more freedom. And just this weekend, I was practicing leaving my phone upstairs and just being downstairs without that attachment. So I
Yeah.
want to do more of that and disconnect in that way. Because it felt good, it felt freeing, and I just see how attached I am to my
Yeah.
daggone phone. So
Yeah.
I really want to practice detaching more from my electronics. Yeah.
That's so good. I love that whole outside outdoors because
Mhm.
honestly, it's not just kids because we put it
Yeah.
on kids,
Mhm.
but all of us are not as smart as a result of the amount of TV we watch,
Oh,
the
yes,
amount of
absolutely.
time we're on devices, whether it's
Yeah.
computers or phones.
Mhm.
Our imaginations aren't enlivened
Right,
as much,
right.
We used
It
to make
stifles
up
our
stuff.
creativity.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, and I love my binges, and uh,
Right.
we could do without them if just.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Good conversation.
Yeah.
So I think about this, and I know that life is moving forward.
Mhm.
Technology is moving forward. I think about some of the things that I know I'm getting older because AI scares me, right?
Yes.
It
Yes.
really scares me.
Yeah.
I love NPR, and I've been listening to a couple of those podcasts that have episodes that are focused on AI and what it can do and how it can replace. Like literally, you could be looking at a post and
Mhm.
thinking it's a truthful post about a person, and they have created this
Mhm.
image of the person and their mouth moving and the sound coming out just like them, and it's not them at all. Just
That's
all of
terrible.
the scary things that could happen with
Mhm.
it. And so I know that we are moving forward. I just hope that in each of our individual lives, and then
Mhm.
in the decisions we get to make,
Yeah.
as a family, as a community, um, as a business, in the government, politically, the decisions we get to help make with our vote.
Yeah.
I really hope we think about what we are losing versus
Mhm.
what we are gaining when we
Yeah.
make certain decisions.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, does anything scare you about like where we're going?
Yeah, when you were talking about AI, I was just thinking about there is going to be a fine line between what's real and what's not.
Mhm.
So the reality of a thing, like we're losing what's real and truthful and honest. So
Mm.
there's it just seems like we're venturing into a space that is more deceptive.
Yeah.
And that is scary to not know what's true and what's fake. Like that's
Yeah.
because that can be
Yeah.
manipulated and create chaos in the world.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
I want to make sure I flip it before, because I'm the old school person. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure I flip it and just ask, is there anything that old school folks should be more open to or look forward to progression,
Mhm.
that maybe you would think we are probably not as open to as we should be?
Going back to something that you mentioned before, definitely religion
Mhm.
is an area, especially church. So am a
Mhm.
part of the community that is unchurched, and
Mhm.
and as far as I know, will stay that way because this is
Mhm.
where I believe I need to be. And so just allowing people to evolve and not putting people in a box so much when it comes to religion and faith and how someone expresses and exercises their faith, because that may look totally different from how an old school person used to express their relationship with God. So I would say just to be for those old schoolers who are just kind of tied to how they church and how they see faith, that it could look different for those of us who are new school.
Absolutely. This is one of, and I want to get to wrapping this up so we can move to our next segment. But
Mhm.
as we are closing, you made me think about um, old school folks. I'm just gonna put myself in that category, no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
Um, Old school folks, I think we tend to deify or prioritize or put above um, what we think and what we feel over what others think and feel. And
Hmm.
I think the elitism and the judgment that
Yeah.
comes along with is in and of itself a
Hmm.
contradiction to what you say you believe. Like it's
Absolutely. Yeah.
so
Yeah. For sure.
so when you are in this, God, and you are judging, like that's a
Hmm.
whole contradiction. So
Hmm.
um I could go, we're gonna have to do a whole
I
episode
know. Yeah. For
there
sure. Yeah. You
for
keep
a minute,
alluding to it.
because it really is hurtful to think that if your ultimate goal is to bring folks together, because under the guise of whatever your faith religion, your faith tradition is, you
Mhm.
are really striving for community.
Yeah.
You're striving for progression, like for you to be a better person, for the people
Mhm.
around you to be better, for all of
Mhm.
us to be loved and treated well. So there are
Mhm.
certain things that you're looking for. And
Yes.
because it isn't clothed in what you deem appropriate,
Yes.
the question is, does it still get to the same goals
Mhm. Right.
of community and
Yeah.
love and
Mhm.
respect and
Yeah.
honor? And
Mhm.
does it still get to the same goals? And
Right.
you don't even have to believe what somebody else believes, or you don't have
Mhm.
to stop believing what you believe, but
Yeah.
does we get to the same goal? And if so, what's your problem? Why?
Right. Right.
What's right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's big. That's really big.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then I would say this is a biggie for me, that no matter how far we go into advancements, technology or whatever,
Mhm.
there are certain pieces of who we are as people,
Mhm.
our history, our heritage. And I don't honestly, whatever color you are, whatever creed you are, whatever nationality you are, ethnicity, I believe there is some value in making sure that you know about and honor and understand who your mother was and who your mother's mother was and who your
Mhm.
mother's mother was. And
Yes.
so, um, if there is going to be an acknowledgement of what was good about
Mhm.
before we got here, it has to be somebody passing that on.
Oh,
It
for
has
sure.
to be
Yeah.
somebody talking about that. And so
Mhm.
I do want that historical pride in who you
Mhm.
are, um, to live on,
Yeah. Mhm.
and even, we talked about being respectful and loving toward each other, and even just the courtesies and stuff where we started,
Mhm.
that might look like rites of passage, like, there
Mm.
historically, ancestrally, there were rites of passage, and some
Yeah.
communities still do that, where this
Mm.
is who we are and these are
Yeah.
our values,
Mhm.
and don't lose the value of who you are no matter what culture and what community you're in now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a
That's so good.
hodgepodge of my thoughts, but yeah,
Mhm.
those
That's
are
good
I think
stuff.
we need a little bit of both is what I'm saying. So
Absolutely. We can
yeah,
benefit from both. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, sister. That was a lot, but I
That was
appreciate you
good.
going into it with me.
Mhm.
Y'all
Absolutely.
may have some thoughts about this. We really want to know, do you consider yourself old school or new school?
Yeah.
And if so, what are your thoughts about it? Like, what would
Mhm.
you like to see progress a little bit, fast forward? What would you like to see brought back from the past, some
Yeah.
blast from the past? Please have some fun with this with us. We would love
Yeah.
to hear from you. Go to speakpipe.com/ real women, real talk, or email us at info Real Women Rock. Would love to hear from
Mhm.
you.
Good
Thank you, sister.
stuff.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've been staying in this segment of putting myself in her, his, their shoes.
Mhm.
We've been staying in our current events bag, so why not stay there, right?
Yes.
So it was just recently announced that Kendrick Lamar was
Mhm.
chosen to do the Super Bowl halftime coming up.
Yeah.
And that was a big surprise to a lot of people.
It was. It was.
So
Yeah.
everybody has an opinion about that right now. And
Mhm.
so I will ask, under the umbrella of put myself in his or her or their shoes,
Mhm.
if you were in the position of the folks who could make that decision, and then, it's said that Jay-Z has a lot to do with these decisions, but
Mhm.
whoever the conglomerate is that makes these decisions,
Mhm.
would you have chosen Kendrick Lamar? Why or why not?
Mhm.
And then if not, who would you have chosen?
Yeah. That is such a good one. And I've heard both sides of the argument about Kendrick Lamar versus Lil Wayne and friends, those who are from New Orleans and Louisiana, and having them on there because that's where the Super Bowl is going to be. However, from a business standpoint, I understand why Kendrick Lamar was chosen. He's hot right now. He has this hot song, the diss track. People are singing "They Not Like Us" all over the place. He just did this show on Amazon that got a lot of views. So, business wise, that makes sense to me. So I get it. I don't, yeah, I get it. If I'm looking at not just who the act will be, I'm looking at who the audience is at the Super Bowl, who watches. I am looking at the sponsorships, who is going to be paying money, who would they be more likely to stand behind, what the person stands behind. On the other side with Lil Wayne, like he even came out and mentioned that he's not going to point any fingers, but taking the accountability that maybe it's something going on with him, and so that was admirable, because even though it looked good, it would have been nice coming from New Orleans and having that type of show. I think Kendrick Lamar probably crosses the lines a little bit more when we're talking about diversity and crossover, and we're not just appealing to Black people. So although I would have loved to see that, I don't know if they crossed over as much as Kendrick Lamar probably does, and just more conscious type rap, and just thinking about the show, what that would have looked like. So it's a lot of nuances that I understand people's sentiments, but I think from a business perspective, I can see why they went with him.
Yeah. So got you. So you, from a business perspective, you
Yeah.
would be like, this is a
Mhm.
good decision at the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
So, I'm a preacher, so I gotta digress and then come.
Okay. Take us around the corner, preacher.
I
We'll
gotta
go
go
with
around the
that.
corner. I gotta
Yeah.
go around the corner. Because let me
Okay.
tell you something.
Yeah.
This, I have graduated, because all I care about for the Super Bowl is the
With
halftime
the
show.
halftime show.
I
Yeah.
am not, I know you a football fan.
I'll
I
be
am
watching the game. Yes.
Yeah, I don't watch the games during. I don't know nobody's name. I just,
Yeah.
okay, who I'm supposed to be going for, okay. All right. So I hope they win, but where's
Right.
the halftime show, right?
Yeah.
So I'm only there for the halftime show. So I've paid
Mhm.
attention over the years to
Mhm.
the halftime show.
Yes.
Let me tell you, this halftime show has started off white,
It did. Yes.
and then it got uh suntanned, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then it got mulatto,
Mhm.
and then it got like pecan tan, like
Mhm.
black. And
Yes.
it has just been getting blacker and
It's
blacker
been
and
blacker and blacker, right?
just like blacker
Yes.
and blacker.
Real
And
black.
I'll be
Yes.
honest, I'm here for it. I am
Yeah.
here for it. I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our time, evidently.
And for sure. Yeah.
So I'm here for it. But it has been hilarious to see, because I'm like, I know other cultures like football, and
Mhm.
they have noticed this trend too.
Right.
And and the big people who own all the teams,
Yeah.
but all of that speaks to, it's a business decision,
Absolutely is. Yeah.
because hip hop culture and R&B culture, it is everybody's culture now. It has
Absolutely. Yes.
become something for everyone. And
Mhm.
so if you want the masses to tune in, you got to either infuse it really well,
Yes.
or you just go all the way black and then they'll come
Mhm.
along. Like,
Yeah. Right. Right. Absolutely. Yes.
hilarious to me.
Yes.
But so that was my digression. So
Okay.
putting myself in the decision maker's shoes, I honestly, putting me in their shoes,
Mhm.
I would not have chosen Kendrick Lamar.
You
I
would
would
have Kendrick.
it would
Okay.
not have come to me because of this song and because
Okay.
of what is happening right now. That
Mhm.
a halftime show, like
Mhm.
the same show that Beyonce has done
Yeah.
and Janet Jackson has done, the
Mhm.
same show Prince has done, like
Right.
that
Yeah.
show, like
Yeah.
I just have always thought iconic, legendary
Mhm.
career
Yeah.
historically. when I thought, like, even for me, like the whole Dr. Dre set, I was like, yes,
It
like
was
this is
so
hip
good.
hop history, like,
It was great. Yeah.
So I would not have thought, because of this moment in time, let's give him
Mhm.
the halftime show.
Got it.
I can't think of who I would choose right now in this.
Mhm.
The only thing I can think of, because I don't think she's has had an opportunity, and this would take us like all the way back to light skin, and then we go all the way back, right?
Yeah.
Because there's been all of this connection made between football and Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
And she
Mhm.
can get stadiums and stadiums of people to
Yes.
view her. So I
Mhm.
just thought, if there was going to be a business decision and it wasn't like,
Mhm.
I would have thought it would been somebody like her.
Right. Mhm.
And I probably here, I would have thought, we've blackened it up a whole lot. Let's lighten it up a little bit, and
Yeah.
then we'll come back. That's
So that
that's
right.
what I would
That's
have been thinking.
hilarious. Yeah.
So yeah.
I think somebody said, I don't know, it's probably just people talking, but they said that they thought that she turned the opportunity down or something,
See,
but I don't know. Yeah.
so I'm thinking somebody's thought of that.
Mhm.
With as much as she has gotten younger eyes on football because of who she
Mhm.
dates,
The Travis
I,
Kelce.
I'm thinking somebody thought of that, and
Yeah.
maybe she did say no. Who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, I would not
It's
have thought of Kendrick. I'm
interesting.
here for
Yeah.
it. I just wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
of it.
I'm
Yeah.
not even a Kendrick Lamar fan. Like I didn't know any of his music. Maybe I did know and didn't know that I knew it, but I wasn't like, let me pop in that Kendrick Lamar until all of this beef with him and Drake. Now that probably would have been a better choice if they hadn't been going through all of this. Now I could see Drake performing at the Super
Yeah,
Bowl, but
yeah. With all of
yeah,
his, I
yeah,
promise you, I would be singing along a whole lot more with Drake.
yeah.
Um, Although we already talked about this in a previous episode,
Hmm.
I am all for what Kendrick has done with this beef,
He
like
is
all
a
for it.
yes for sure. Yes, which is
But
why I
the
think
but
Drake
the
is gonna do it.
yeah, I'm sorry. But the truth of the matter is,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be waiting for him to sing "They Not Like Us," rap
Oh,
"They
for
Not Like Us," because
sure. Now
I
that,
don't.
yeah,
I'm gonna
just
be bobbing my head
yes,
until, okay, they not okay. All right,
right.
that's
That's it.
yeah,
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 yeah. So that's gonna be it. I want to see who, if he will bring out other people. He got to bring out other people. I don't know who he would bring out, but I want to see how this all plays out. Yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be fire,
yeah.
and I am all in my auntie bag with this, because between not
Hmm.
being in football and not
Yeah,
being a Kendrick Lamar longtime fan,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm here. I'm gonna be at the halftime, because I'm gonna be there, and because I want to be able to see it and talk about it after, and
Uh-huh.
bob my
Yeah,
head and all of
yeah.
that. So it'll be fun.
Hilarious. Love it. We gonna see y'all.
We
Stay
gonna
tuned.
see, y'all. Would love to know what
Mhm.
y'all think about that. So feel free to hit us up about that. So listen, in Real Women, we laugh, we talk about deep stuff. We disagree. We're not always on the same page about whatever we're
Mhm.
thinking, but we feel free and safe enough to share our thoughts. And so a lot has been shared in this episode, sister. We have gone from the oldest of school to the newest of school, and a whole lot in between. I'm wondering if anything has come up for you during this episode that you'd like to share during our spiritual nugget.
Mhm. So the phrase that's coming to mind is bridging the gap.
That's so good.
So we have talked about old school, new school, traditional versus non-traditional, auntie versus, Kiki. That's the first thing that came to mind. You could be a Kiki auntie, I don't know. But um yeah, but bridging the gap, there is space for both, and it doesn't have to be either or. And I think we could learn from each other if we practice more bridging the gap than parting the ways, and not being open-minded is what I hear. Being open-minded, we can learn from each other. There's we can put it all in the melting pot and just enjoy the traditions and the new school. So bridging the gap. Mhm.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
This is not supposed to make me cry. We have been kikiing too much.
Yeah.
But let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
those 3 words in this moment are so powerful for me because one of my affirmations and at the core of my being, I know I am a bridge.
Mm. Mm.
I am a bridge. So thank you so much for
Mm-hmm.
taking this big conversation we just had
Mm.
and reminding me
Mm-hmm.
why we are having this conversation.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
having this conversation because we are bridges.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so
Mm.
much for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get this out. I am.
Uh-huh. That's all right.
Um, this is. I'm telling you, when I started this to say I feel good,
Mm-hmm.
I feel good from my core because this is my life's work,
Yeah.
and so um, I cannot express how appropriate and exact it was that Shavon just ended with bridging the gap because not
Mm.
we all have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what that looks like or feels like,
Mm-hmm.
girl,
Mm. Mm-mm.
come to Real Women. This so every almost every weekend you will have an opportunity to experience us either where you are in the DMV or virtually once a month wherever you live.
Mm-hmm.
And you will get to experience safety
Mm.
and non-judgment and an opportunity to be vulnerable with sisters that you don't know, sisters you didn't know you had,
Mm-hmm.
will become sisters of yours before the 2 hours is up.
Yes.
We literally connect and find common ground in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I invite you to just check us out at realwomenrock.org. And if you're looking for a special opportunity, because our sister circles, this was a sneak peek into our sister circles, this
Yeah.
almost an hour. We spend a couple of hours together in a sister circle when we're virtual or in person together, and we don't record those. We are just in the circle together.
Mm-hmm.
But then we've taken those couple of hours of sister circle and we've expanded them to 2+ days. And
Mm.
let me tell you, those 2+ days, we spend Friday afternoon, Friday night, Saturday all day, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon together. And we dig in to make sure that we are connected around a growth topic. And our growth topic this year is the Win Hers Circle. And we want you to understand that you are a winner no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on in your life right now. What does that look like? And how can you feel like the winner capturing the goal no matter what? That's what we're going to talk about. And we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to be about it, we're going to do about it. We got some stuff planned for y'all. We're going to
Yes.
have some fun. I mean, just you cannot hear about it. You got to experience it. So
Mm-hmm.
please go to realwomenrock.org/intensive.
Yeah.
Visit us to find out more. We have a lot of details for you there. There is a really affordable investment for a registration fee, and the hotel is amazing. We have a
Mm-hmm.
video out now on social media that will give you a sneak peek into the hotel in Maryland in case you've never been. And more than that, you will get to experience indoors, outdoors with us. We're going to be in groups and partnering up and having some fun with activities. Just you want to experience this. Trust me. Bring a sister girl and
Yes.
go to the website and register. I don't know if you want to say anything about any of what I just said. I had to walk my way out of that, sister, because you took
Mm-mm.
me
This is
somewhere.
good. Yes. Mm-mm. Nothing
Woo!
else. add. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so y'all, thank you so much for joining us. This has been amazing. It was just the conversation I needed to close my day out.
Yes.
Whenever you are watching this, share this with somebody if you know it will be a blessing to them. And then like, follow, share everywhere you find us. And don't forget to visit us at our website. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.